All right, here are my thoughts on the Lady Vols versus the University of Massachusetts. Got some notes here. You can't really see them right. There you go. You can see them. But on the Tennessee Lady Vols versus Massachusetts. In the background here, I've got UConn versus NC State from last year playing. A game of grit, grime, persistence, all that. So, first of all, prayers to Jordan Horston. Hope that you're fine, you're okay as a person first. Forget being a player. We want you well as a person. That's it. Number one, as a human. Number two, a couple of thoughts here, but the first one is toughness. We have got to be tough. Tough, tough, tough. I like Rakia Jackson. I like her on both sides, offense and defense. She is tough. Secondly, I like Brooklyn Miles. Shannon Bobbitt, tough. I love her. Undersized, but tough. I love it. And secondly, we need to build grit as a team. You can't have like individual players being gritty. The whole team has to be gritty. And I end that to say when it comes to toughness is the question to yourself as a player, as a team is, do you want to play or do you want to win? And there's a difference between playing and winning. Winning is a team effort, not an individual effort. So you want to play or do you want to win? And that's for the coaches too. Second, is good decision making, especially for our upperclassmen. You got to make good decisions. You have to. It's discernment. And let me say this right here. I love what we are doing with the three ball. We've got players coming in, whether it's Tess Darby, Sarah Puckett, maybe even Justine. The three ball, we're trying to develop it, and I love it. But the question is, when it comes to decision making, is are we running plays, or are we just getting the ball to whoever's open? Are we running plays, or are we giving the ball to whoever is open? Who historically has been Horston, and right now it might be Rakia Jackson. Think about that. And so when it comes to the coaching, we got to develop consistency and let the players play. Let the starters play together for longer. Kelly, you want to be liked or do you want to coach? We're the same age. I get it. I promise you I get it. Thirdly, now we're on number three. As Pat Simon said, composure. We have got to be composed. We are an eager team, whether it's a preseason ranking or our tradition, the name on the jersey, whatever. We are not playing composed right now. And so we've got to calm down. I used to have a sign in my office when I would meet with students that it would say all these things like don't rush, don't overthink, don't do this. And the last statement said, just breathe. Just breathe. You'll be okay. You've got to be composed. You've got to be calm because the other team knows who they're playing. And the fact that UMass was like, we have nothing to lose. But we, as Tennessee Lady Vols, we have everything to lose. Be composed at all times. That's it. And start thinking rather than responding. Slow it down. We've got so many transfers who have come from other institutions, whether they're played at Mississippi State or Missouri State or Minnesota. They're now at Tennessee, but guess what? They still should know how to play ball. You should know how to play ball. And regardless of where you are, you should know how to play ball and you should know how to be composed. We need to be composed. Next, we need vision. I always tell people, you got to decide to decide. And what that really means is you got to decide to make a decision, whether you're going this way or that way or over there. You got to decide to decide. Kelly, the coaching staff, the players themselves have to decide who they want to be. We know who we were. We know that. We know who we were. But who are we going to be and who are we going to be next? And that again goes for the players, but that also goes for Kelly. And for Kelly, do you want to be liked or do you want to be respected? And there's a difference. And then lastly, and most importantly, our fans. We can be involved, but we cannot be nasty. We can't be nasty. Whether it's in person or online, I've been to games in Thompson Bowling Arena, and I'm 45. And I said before, I was at Pat Summitt's last home game. I was there in the rafters. I've got 2 basketballs in that room right there that are signed by Pat Summitt. So I'm a fan. But Pat Summitt would not want your fans to be nasty. But you can be involved in the process, but don't be nasty. I keep saying we're dealing with this culture class right now. We've had a fan base historically, who they are, whoever, where they're from. Most are from Tennessee. And we have a new fan base who are trying to emulate other teams. As I said earlier, South Carolina has never had a fan base. John Staley has established a fan base. They have their own attitudes, their own agendas. We've had a fan base. We're dealing with a culture clash right now, okay? So allow each other on one end or the other some grace a little bit to adjust to the fan base. But again, we cannot be nasty towards each other. And I'm saying this because I heard, number one, I've been in Thompson Bowling Arena face-to-face, in person, but I also heard some of those hot mics earlier in the game. And in every game, our fans are nasty. I used to work at the University of Maryland, and I said when I would go to women's basketball games, some of the fans, like the coaches there, are nasty. Okay? But that's culture. Pat Summitt, we want to follow culture, was never nasty, but she was involved. And our fans need to remember that regardless of your age or who you are, be involved, but don't be nasty. Lastly, I would say, we, the fans, and the coaches, hopefully do this as well, can hold our players accountable. Okay? How we do that is different. We do it in different ways. Some people call you out and be like, you such and such and such, you ain't moving your feet or this. Where some players are like, some fans, brother, are like, this. You know, we need the team to do this. Fans hold people accountable, okay, to who they are. And whether that's in a game, a basketball game, or even the game of life, that's just competition. And if you really want to compete, you will accept that. You'll say, I want someone to say to me, I didn't do that well. Or you know what? I did good, but I can do better. Always aim to do better. And the best players want to do better. And secondly, They want someone who can develop them as a player to the next level, whatever that next level might be. And there are some coaches out there who can develop players differently, better, subjective in this sense, than other coaches can. And so you wonder, well, why aren't we getting high school recruits? Because they have not seen a coach since Pat Summitt at the University of Tennessee develop players. And that's what it boils down to. All right? It boils down to you being tough. It boils down to being composed. Thirdly, you having a vision as a coach and as a team. And then lastly, I would just say our fan base. Be involved, but don't be nasty. And that's it. Go Lady Vols, Rocky Top. You'll always be home, sweet home to me. From this North Carolina boy, I'm a Tennessee Lady Vol. Go Lady Vols.